where to find brands that are looking for 40 plus UGC creators. There are so many ways. Fiverr is one of them, but save this video if you're interested in doing this. UGC, if you've never heard about it or know what it stands for user generated content. Basically, UGC creators like myself, I've been doing this for almost 3 years. It's what replaced my 6-figure job back in 2023. I've now taught over 9,200 people how to do this. This is like a legit thing. So just like, I know there's a ton of side hustles and people talk about so many things to make money with social media, but this is what I've been doing. This is what worked for me. So, a lot of brands are wanting to work with more Gen Xers and baby boomers, and UGC creators, it's really nice because you don't need a certain number of followers. You as a UGC creator, you're just getting hired to create content for companies that they then take that content, like short videos talking about their products or services or app, whatever they sell that you make for them, you'll send it to them, they'll take it and use it for their own purposes, as opposed to like influencers who need like, you know, hundreds of thousands of followers in order to land paid brand deals. You just don't need followers with UGC because the brand's not relying on your followers to, you know, get them the results. They just need a bunch of content for their own marketing purposes. So first, why are brands wanting to work with more Gen Xers and boomers? There's a ton of reasons, but the main ones are that you guys hold the largest purchasing power. So when brands advertise, they have a product that they could sell to Gen Xers, people 40, 45 plus, they love it because usually, statistically speaking, Gen Xers are the wealthiest generation, followed by baby boomers. You guys just tend to have more money in the bank. You've been working for years on end. Even if that's not your current financial situation, it's still according to the data. So that's what brands pay attention to. Largest purchasing power means you guys hold a really, really valuable thing. So when a brand, I always like to give this example of like, when brands are, say that you're scrolling on Facebook and you are 55 years old, right? All the ads that you see, all the sponsored posts that you see, it wouldn't make sense as a 55-year-old to scroll through Facebook and only see ads where the person talking in those ads is talking about the product or service. Those people are like 20 something, like that would not make sense. So it only makes sense if a brand is advertising and trying to sell more of their products and services to more Gen Xers, to more baby boomers, which they are, then it only makes sense for them to hire fellow Gen Xers and boomers so that you as a 50 or 40, 50, 60, 70 something year old see that and you relate to it and you think that product or service is for you. Hopefully that makes sense. If this is making sense, I really hope it is. I try to explain it like as simply as possible, but if it's making sense, if it's making sense, type your current age in the comments. I would love to know like how old you are, even though it sounds kind of funny. If you're comfortable with it, let me know how old you are in the comments, because it just helps me like figure out who's watching this, so it's not like a bunch of Gen Zers or even like millennials. Let me know, type your current age in the comments if you're cool with it. And then also, if this is like piquing your curiosity and you're like, this is so cool, I want to get started with this. I teach people how to do this, right? I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I've taught over 9,200 people. Probably like between 7,000 to 8,000 of those people are Gen Xers and boomers that just like wanted to learn from me. So they joined my course, my community, and they just learn step by step. But if you don't want to quite do that, or you just want to like get started and want some tangible information to help you get started, I have a free resource that is a PDF checklist that will go through like bam, 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 how to get started with this. So you can go grab it. It's in my Stand store, in my profile. It's yours if you want it. So getting back to the actual original question, where do you find these brands? So because UGC is in such high demand, most companies, which there's millions of companies, right? Most companies are hiring UGC creators to some extent. They're working with UGC creators in some capacity. So because of that, there has been this increase in the amount of ways that you can connect with brands as a UGC creator. So I'll give you a few examples. Number one, Fiverr, like she commented, Fiverr is a freelance platform. If you don't know, you can create a Fiverr gig. I have a guest trainer who's like the top Fiverr UGC creator. She teaches all about how to create a Fiverr gig inside my course. That a ton of my students are using Fiverr to land UGC deals like consistently. And what's great about Fiverr is like, once you create a gig, like it's not like an automatic thing typically, like where brands find you on Fiverr and it's this like super like really quick thing. It takes a little bit, but what's great about it is they find you as opposed to like you going out and finding them, which is still something you should do, but it just doesn't take as much time, if that makes sense. So yes, Fiverr for sure is one. Another, my favorite way still, almost 3 years later, to get UGC deals and connect with brands is sending emails and DMs. Now, it's not like it's like super time efficient, like most brands. Sorry, there's a helicopter. So I can't remember exactly what I was saying, but I have really had the most success in just literally reaching out to brands via email and DM. I also send personalized video pitches to brands that I really want to work with. I just sent one the other day to actually this local company, but you can also do UGC with local companies, by the way. One of my students in my course reached out to her local pet store that she was buying all of her dog products, like food, treats, everything from, and she's now going to be doing UGC for this local pet store. So nothing is like off limits. It's just getting creative with thinking about, okay, what products do I already use? What do I see advertised while I'm scrolling on Facebook and Instagram, maybe even on TikTok? This is different than TikTok Shop, by the way. This is not TikTok Shop. This is different. Just in case you were wondering. TikTok Shop, you have to have followers. With the UGC, you don't have to have followers. So, again, Fiverr, there's emailing, DMing. I teach you, if you do happen to grab my free UGC checklist that I mentioned before, I teach you how to email companies. So if you're like, okay, I'm going to do UGC, and you're already thinking, okay, cool, I have 2 dogs. I buy, X, Y, and Z for them. I can start reaching out to those brands. A lot of pet UGC is like huge, by the way. So that could be a start for you. But I teach you how to email. I have a whole 15-minute video lesson in that free checklist teaching you how to email all these companies. So that would be something that would really help you. So again, like go get the free checklist if you haven't grabbed it yet and you want it. And then also how to DM. I've landed really big brand deals with large companies while just starting the conversation with them inside Instagram DMs. And so that is another way. And then there's also platforms and apps. So platforms, I'll just name a few, like a lot of my, I have a whole PDF inside my course with like 18 different platforms and apps, but this will just be like a brief overview because I don't have that much time, obviously. But breakfast.io, which is like really popular with a lot of my students, which is brkfst.io. You create a profile and then you get to connect with brands. There's also Join Brands, but that's lower paying. So a lot of my students start with Join Brands just to get their feet wet, even though it's not something I think you should do more than a few UGC deals with, just because I think you're worth way more than what they pay you. But there's Join Brands, there's Coley, there's Vidsy, there's Clip, there's apps like Billow, B-Roll, Incense, there's Backstage. A lot of my students have landed deals on Backstage. So yeah, there's so many ways to connect with there's agencies. Again, there's local businesses. So don't think it's only like one way, but yeah, there's so many ways, and not every company obviously is going to be wanting to work with people over the age of 40, right? But a lot of companies do. And you guys, even though like I've taught thousands of people, I know thousands of people that are in those demographics, in those 2 generations doing UGC actively, it's still like you guys are still such a small tiny percent of the overall UGC creators. Like I'm 34, my mom's 64 doing UGC, but like Gen Xers, boomers are still the small minority in the overall UGC population, I guess you could say. So you guys are in high demand. It's just you have to go and like put in the work. This is like not an overnight success thing, right? Like it's not a get rich quick thing. You got to put in the time, the effort. But if you're willing to learn a new skill set, which is also very exciting, a lot of my students who do learn UGC, they have this new lease on life. Like it's like this new chapter that's really exciting. It's like a creative outlet that also is providing a lot of income for them. So anyways, I just think it's like a win-win for anybody who's willing to do it. If you are, hopefully I could be a valuable resource for you along the way, whether I see you in my course or you never see my face again. Just learn UGC, get started with it, grab my free checklist.